Introduction of Essays in Persuasion book summary. Almost a century ago, one man saw the future. His name was John Maynard Keynes. His words still echo today. Keynes wrote about economic collapse, recovery, and prosperity. He saw the dangers of the Treaty of Versailles. He predicted struggles that would last for decades, and he envisioned a future of wealth and innovation. His book, Essays in Persuasion, is more than history. It's a warning, it's a guide, it's a prophecy. What did Keynes get right? What did he miss? And what can we learn today? Stay with us as we uncover the century-old wisdom that still shapes our economy. You won't believe how relevant it is. This video, including its audio and script, is protected by copyright. Unauthorized reproduction, distribution, or piracy is strictly prohibited and may result in legal action. Welcome to Economics English Book Summary, Episode 3. In this episode, we'll explore 1931 published book Essays in Persuasion, written by John Maynard Keynes. The full title of the book is Essays in Persuasion, Essays on Global Economic Collapse and Revival. Chapter 1 of Essays in Persuasion book summary. The War That Changed Everything. Imagine standing in the grand halls of Versailles. In 1919, the world's leaders have gathered to sign a treaty that will officially end World War I. The palace is beautiful, but outside Europe is in ruins. Fields are covered in trenches, cities are destroyed, and millions of lives have been lost. Over 20 million people have died, and economies are collapsing. Among the leaders is a young British economist named John Maynard Keynes. At just 35, he is already well known in his field. As he watches the discussions, concern grows on his face. The world is changing. The war didn't just redraw borders, it changed how countries interact, how economies work, and how governments operate. Before the war, free trade and the gold standard were seen as the foundation of a stable economy. But the war forced governments to take control. They rationed food, controlled industries, and directed resources. Now that the war is over, a big question remains. What should governments do next? Should they step back or should they continue to manage the economy? Keynes thinks about these questions deeply. His time at Versailles leads him to write The Economic Consequences of the Peace, a powerful critique of the treaty. He believes the treaty is too harsh on Germany and will cause future problems. His book makes him famous and sparks debates about economic policies that continue to this day. But why does this matter to you? Because the same issues Keynes wrote about, economic inequality, government intervention, and global cooperation, are still important. His ideas help us understand today's world. Keynes wasn't just an economist, he was a thinker who wanted to build a fairer, more prosperous society. His work shaped modern economics and still influences decisions that affect us all. Chapter 2 of Essays in Persuasion book summary. The Price of Peace. When the Treaty of Versailles was signed after World War I, economist John Maynard Keynes felt uneasy. He believed the harsh penalties placed on Germany were not only unfair but dangerous. In his book, The Economic Consequences of the Peace, he warned that crippling Germany's economy would lead to anger and instability. His fears came true. In the 1930s, Germany struggled under massive debt and economic collapse. This hardship fueled extremism, leading to the rise of fascism and World War II. Keynes had predicted that punishing a nation too harshly could backfire, creating more conflict instead of lasting peace. But his ideas aren't just about history. Even today, economic policies shape the fate of nations. Consider the sanctions placed on Russia after its invasion of Ukraine. These penalties aim to prevent further aggression, but they also isolate Russia economically. This could lead to greater resentment and unpredictability, just as Keynes warned. Economic decisions have real consequences. When countries struggle under sanctions, reparations, or debt, ordinary people suffer. Protests, poverty, and political turmoil often follow. Yet Keynes was not just a critic. He believed smart economic policies could create peace and prosperity. His ideas influenced the creation of institutions like the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank, which help maintain global economic stability. The lesson is clear. True peace isn't just about stopping wars. It requires economic fairness. Whether dealing with trade agreements, foreign aid, or financial crises, Keynes's message remains relevant. Thoughtful economic choices can build a better world, not just for a few, but for everyone. Chapter 3 of Essays in Persuasion book summary. Money moves, inflation and deflation. After World War I, the economy was in chaos. The gold standard was fading and governments had little control over money. Prices went up and down wildly and people believed the market would fix itself, even if it caused suffering. John Maynard Keynes thought differently. He said governments should step in to manage inflation and deflation. This was a bold new idea. He suggested that during hard times, governments should spend more money to boost the economy. Before this, leaders would cut spending, which only made things worse. Keynes also explained why falling prices, deflation, were dangerous. When prices drop, wages don't adjust easily. This leads to job losses and economic struggles. His idea of sticky wages helped people understand why waiting for the market to fix itself wasn't enough. His theories came at a time of great change. Old empires were falling and new nations were rising. Keynes gave leaders a fresh way to think about money and economic growth. Today, we take things like inflation targets and interest rate changes for granted. But in Keynes' time, these ideas were shocking. His work shaped modern economics. When you hear about stimulus packages or central banks adjusting money supply, you're seeing Keynes' ideas in action. He showed that economic policies must evolve with the world. As new challenges arise, like digital currencies or supply chain issues, fresh thinking will guide the way forward. Keynes changed how we understand money, and his lessons still shape our future. Chapter 4 of Essays in Persuasion book summary, The End of Laissez-Faire. For many years, people believed in laissez-faire capitalism. This meant the government should not interfere with the economy. Businesses and markets operated freely. But this system had problems. Workers faced unsafe jobs and many ended up in debtors' prisons. After World War I, economic troubles made things worse. A new way of thinking was needed. John Maynard Keynes challenged this old idea. He said free markets could cause inequality and instability, but he did not support full socialism. Instead, he suggested a balance. The government should step in to fix market failures. It should manage currency, guide investments, and ensure fair wealth distribution. His ideas led to big changes worldwide. In the United States, President Franklin D. Roosevelt applied Keynesian ideas in the New Deal. Programs like Social Security, unemployment insurance, and public works projects helped millions. Many of these policies still exist today. Highways built in that era remain in use and Social Security benefits continue to support retirees. In the United Kingdom, Keynes' ideas helped shape the welfare state after World War II. In 1948, the National Health Service (NHS) was created. It provided free healthcare to all citizens. Even today, UK residents receive medical care without direct payment thanks to this system. France also followed Keynesian principles. The government worked with businesses and labor unions to set economic goals. This approach helped France grow rapidly after the war. The economy thrived for 3 decades, known as the Trente Glorieuses. Keynes's influence went beyond individual countries. His ideas shaped the global economy. The Bretton Woods system, which managed international finance, was based on his work. Institutions like the International Monetary Fund (IMF) still reflect his belief in government-managed economic stability. Keynes changed how the world saw capitalism. His vision of managed economies helped create modern economic policies that continue to shape our lives today. Chapter 5 of Essays in Persuasion book summary. Spending to create jobs. During the Great Depression, economist John Maynard Keynes had a bold idea. He believed governments should spend money to create jobs, even if it meant going into debt. This approach, called Keynesian economics, changed how countries handle unemployment and economic crises. Keynes argued that during recessions, businesses stop investing and people stop spending. To fix this, the government should step in and create jobs. He even suggested paying workers to dig holes and fill them up again, because having a job and money to spend was better than doing nothing. The impact of this thinking is still visible today. Public works projects like highways and national parks come from Keynesian ideas. In the US, the Works Progress Administration, WPA, helped artists, writers, and performers during the Depression. Famous figures like Zora Neale Hurston and Jackson Pollock benefited from WPA programs. The WPA also preserved history by recording the stories of formerly enslaved people. Other countries followed similar paths. In Mexico, the government hired artists like Diego Rivera to create public murals. In the UK, a program to support the arts during World War II eventually became the Arts Council, which still funds British culture today. Keynes' influence didn't stop at public works. His ideas shaped modern welfare systems. Germany, for example, has strong labor protections, universal healthcare, and subsidized education, all inspired by Keynesian principles. These programs help people during economic downturns and keep the economy stable. Today, when governments invest in public projects or social programs, they are following Keynes' ideas. His theory proved that in tough times, government spending can keep people working and economies running. Chapter 6 of Essays in Persuasion book summary. The future we dreamed of. In 1930, economist John Maynard Keynes imagined a bright future. In his essay, Economic Possibilities for Our Grandchildren, he predicted that by 2030, life would be much better. He believed people in rich countries would be 4 to 8 times wealthier than in his time. In many ways, he was right. Modern technology and comforts would seem like magic to our great-grandparents. But Keynes dreamed of more than just wealth. He thought work would become a small part of life. He predicted people would work only 15 hours a week, spending the rest of their time on leisure and self-improvement. That part hasn't fully come true. Productivity has increased, but people still work long hours. Many feel overwhelmed by today's fast-paced economy. However, there are signs of change. Remote work, flexible schedules, and 4-day workweek discussions show that society is reconsidering work-life balance. Debates about universal basic income and shorter working hours reflect attempts to make Keynes' vision a reality. Yet Keynes also had a warning. He worried people might struggle to find purpose without work. Today, with endless entertainment and social media, some may feel lost in their free time. This is a challenge he predicted nearly 100 years ago. Another challenge is inequality. While some enjoy great prosperity, billions still struggle to meet basic needs. The world's biggest task is not just making progress, but ensuring that everyone benefits from it. Climate change, something Keynes didn't foresee, complicates our future. Extreme weather and sustainability concerns now shape economic discussions. The choices we make today will impact future generations, just as Keynes once imagined. The question remains: can we build a world where progress benefits all? Conclusion of Essays in Persuasion book summary. Thank you for watching this video. We reached the end of our journey. Today we learned much about economic ideas. We saw warnings about harsh peace treaties. We learned about government intervention. John Maynard Keynes showed us the way. His words still matter today. His ideas are clear and bold. We saw his view on modern policies. He talked about work and life. He dreamed of shorter work days. He dreamed of more free time. He wished for fair wealth for all. His ideas guide today's debates. They help us discuss universal basic income. They urge us to think of tomorrow. We learned that every decision counts. His words remind us of long-term care. Each policy has a future impact. Keynes urged balance and fairness. His ideas set the stage. They build modern institutions. They change our view of work and leisure. His work is a foundation for growth. We now see a new path. The path is fair and smart. It makes us think and act. It teaches us to plan well. We hope you enjoyed the video. We hope you learned something new. Let these ideas spark your thoughts. Let them guide your decisions. Thank you for your time. We wish you a bright future. Stay curious, stay inspired. See you next time. Disclaimer, please check the description. Any digital copy of this content that is shared through piracy or downloaded without permission or uploaded on any online social media platform will be considered a clear violation of copyright law. Piracy is a serious offense and strict legal action will be taken against it. Additionally, copyright infringement may result in a strike against your YouTube channel or page, and it could even be deleted. Therefore, please do not engage in piracy or support it. This content has been created based on the references from the mentioned book. However, it may contain some unintentional errors or inconsistencies due to human or mechanical mistakes. If you notice any mistakes or inconsistencies, please accept our apologies and inform us through a comment or message. If you enjoy this book summary and wish to gain complete knowledge of the book, then please consider purchasing the book from an online or offline bookstore and reading it.